Hello, degenerates, and welcome to the 11th episode of Season 2 of Monster Mates.
Welcome back.
Spencer, please choose a number between 1 and 131.
I'm going to pick number 74.
74, here we go. This is going to be interesting. Cursed Sword Girls.
How is this a monster girl?
That's going to be a great
It's
question.
just a sword with titties?
Partially? Hold on.
What? How do I fuck a sword, Trevor?
Carefully.
No.
You ever seen that one hentai or that one clip? I forget the name of the hentai, honestly.
Yeah.
It's where this girl is banging another girl with a katana, and she says the line, "The katana brings about the most ultimate pleasure, but one wrong move and it'll kill you."
I can't say I've divulged into that doujin or hentai. I can't say that I have.
I saw that hentai like a long time ago, but I don't remember what the name of it is.
And yet it stuck with you, and you're like, man, I want to fuck a girl with a sword.
That line stuck with me for some reason.
That, like, man, one little slip. That's a doctor thing. Like, hey, one little slip up and you're dead. Oops. All right, let's see. Your cursed sword.
Before we get into this, what would you rate it?
Okay, okay. This is like a 1 if I'm going to fuck the sword. And this is like maybe a 5 if the girl is attached to the sword.
I mean, I would assume she is, so. But
I feel like we should get our artist just to make a big katana with big old titties on the metal katana.
Oh my goodness. Get some real rareware up in here.
Absolutely.
Goodness. Okay, I'm gonna rate this probably a 4.
Yeah, alright, that's totally fair.
All right.
So, family type is sword, devil, magic material. Habitat, ancient structures such as ruins and old castles. Disposition is ferocious, honest, and devoted. Diet is men's spirit energy. Oh, we got another sucker here.
Of course. All right. So, the encyclopedia says, former human women who became entranced by cursed swords. Generations ago, these cursed swords were created by a wicked demon lord who embedded them with malice. In those days, they were fearsome weapons that would cause a human who picked one up to go mad and change into a mass murderer who would even slay his own comrades. Their nature has changed along with the transformation of the monsters. Just like the demon realm silver weapons used by monsters, they inflict wounds on an opponent's spirit energy rather than their body, and they don't kill. Instead of feeling painful, the wounds feel hot and throb, and instead of blood, the body's spirit energy leaks out, only to be replaced by demonic energy from the cursed sword, changing the victim into a monster. Due to the danger they once posed, they were sealed away in various places by the current demon lord. But with the passage of time, the seals have weakened, and many have been unearthed by illegal diggers. At a glance, a cursed sword looks like an ordinary sword, but those who carelessly pick one up will be parasitically infected, their body and mind gradually corrupted. By having the host cut people, the cursed sword sucks up mana, growing powerful and sinister. At first, there are only minor changes to the host, such as an elevated mood and increased belligerence. But little by little, the sword's influence grows, and the host will end up being compelled to cut humans with it whenever she sees them. Okay.
At what point does this turn into sexy time?
The lady with the sword who got corrupted, I guess.
I get, but like the host will just be compelled to cut people whenever they see. I guess if you like lacerations when you're blood play, here you go. I guess
Pretty much.
the power of the ancient demon lord dwelling within the cursed sword grants those who possess inhuman strength. For example, even a mere village girl who would become a formidable cursed swordswoman. If she cut a human, the pleasure of breaking free from human fetters would monsterize will also be induced in her. And she will start to direct her blade towards humans of her own free will in pursuit of such pleasure. Fusion with cursed sword will progress along with climaxing each and every time she cuts a human causing her aggressive nature to bloom.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
blood play, all right.
eventually she will come to regard herself and the cursed sword as the being as the very same existence. The desires of the cursed sword will become her own desires. A hollow smile of ecstasy will be omnipresent on their face as they cut and convert into a monster every human in sight, showering in sprays of pleasure and mana. Once they themselves transform into accursed swords, they can no longer control their urges. While cutting people to obtain pleasure, each time that they do, they'll experience a lack of fulfillment, and even more powerful urges directed at men will gush forth.
Oh,
Oh.
goodness.
If they spot a man who strikes their fancy, they'll slash at him and violate him. However, once they recognize a man as their husband, who would marry this? However, once they recognize a man as their husband and are held in his arms or have their heads stroked by him, they become meek, entrusting their body to him in a trance, as if their usual severely ferocious demeanor had been a lie.
Goodness. So
For a monster female, the pleasure of cutting people is nothing compared to the feelings she shares with her husband, which are more pleasurable and fulfilling than anything. The husband is their scabbard with frequent mutual touching and sex. These once empty girls become filled with passion and their aggressive urges no longer appear. The uncontrollable urge to attack changes into uncontrollable urge to express their love. They cuddle with their husband and fawn on him, and when they open their mouth, it's to profess their love for or beg for sex. Also, since their consciousness as a cursed sword recognizes their husband as their owner, they will be extremely devoted, as to say not only the sword's sharp, aggressive nature, but the entirety of the beings exists just for their husband. They're intent on eliminating their husband's enemies with the cursed sword's body, dedicating the woman's body to pleasing their husband. However, if neglected for a long time and left unfulfilled, they will once again become unsheathed and attack in a violent attempt to violate their husband. However, rather than aggressive urge, it looks more like a peevish outburst because they couldn't get attention from their husband.
oh my goodness.
Okay.
So we've had dere-deres, we've had tsunderes, we've had kuderes. Now we're on the yanderes.
Is this yandere?
This is pretty close.
It's pretty close. Like, it's on the borderline of tsundere and yandere.
This is more, I would say this is more yandere than tsundere.
So, I guess, how do you get to marry one of these? How does this happen?
By being the most sub, like, ever. Pretty much. That's what
But
it
if
seems
you're the most
like.
sub
Anyway.
ever, you can't be the most dumb ever when she wants you to be dumb once you become a husband.
Well, maybe? I don't know. She seems extremely dominant. So,
But but it says when you marry her that she becomes just like she literally becomes in a way your sword, and that she will protect you.
true.
She is basically, she sees herself as your sword for you to use however you please.
So it kind of becomes a role reversal once the marriage happens. But,
Yes.
But it still doesn't help the fact that she will want to try and slice you.
Now, if you're married to this girl before she touches the sword, and then she does the murder and comes back to you, and she recognizes you as her husband, and does that count? I guess.
What do you mean exactly by
Like,
does it count?
I marry a village girl.
Yeah.
She goes off. She pick up sword. Big stabby.
Yeah.
Stabs everyone. Whatever. It doesn't stab me, but she's now empty and is like, oh, husband, no stab, love, fuck me now. Right.
I mean, yeah.
So it's like, well, okay then.
But now you're what's it? Now basically your girl, or rather your wife has been mind corrupted by by a cursed sword.
Yeah, like, okay, I see the eye. There's an eye on the sword
Yeah.
that this one has, and does the sword watch?
Yeah, probably.
Is the sword in bed while we do it the
Yes.
entire time?
Mm-hmm. I mean, what's it? Like
I don't know how I
very,
feel about the
very,
sword.
very olden time high fantasy looking cursed sword, like Eternal Champion thing.
Like Skyrim looking, like Oblivion looking sword.
Yep.
Not like, yeah, like, okay. The things I like. I like the corrupt look of it. Like, I like well, when you're corrupt, you're basically nude.
Yep.
I like that when you're married to them, they basically go, hey, I like you. You could just use me however you want.
Yep.
From the sounds of it, like, they don't even say anything. Like, they just silent because they see themselves as a sword, and they say, and when they open their mouth, it's to profess their love or beg for sex, and that's it, I guess.
Yeah, they only open their mouths when they want you in either a romantic or sexual way.
See, when I was reading that, my brain just went to, oh, she can't talk, but just opens her mouth again. I'm like, oh, well, it's one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case. She professes her love, so...
Yep.
What does a sword even say?
I don't know.
Like, okay,
but again,
am I fucking the sword that's possessing her, or am I fucking... or am I fucking like a corrupt version of this girl?
You're having sex with the corrupted version of the girl.
Okay.
Like, you're having sex with the girl, but its mind has been, altered to be like that of the sword.
I see.
Yes.
So, this is not something you want to find. You do not want to find this.
You don't want to pick this up.
Here's the thing, right? The only thing about this that I can see being even viable is because if you find a girl like this, you better fucking hope she's used to killing and she wants something else because you're like, marry me? Because if you don't, she's going to kill your ass.
Yeah, probably.
She wants that sweet, sweet blood trickling down her fucking cunt. That's what she wants.
More spirit energy since it doesn't directly cut into the body, but still, same feeling.
Same feeling, same pain.
Still hurty.
Still probably can die from it, too.
Well, no, it doesn't kill. So
you don't think it kills?
It says rather than their body, and they don't kill.
Oh.
So.
That's right, they did say that, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. So it will be extremely painful, but it won't kill you.
It won't kill you yet.
I just hope you like a lifetime of pain, which, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm into BDSM, but I ain't that into BDSM.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the corruptedness of it. I don't know what it is. If you look at like Dojin history or whatever, you'll see a bunch of like corrupt stuff.
Yes.
Because I think that stuff is interesting. It's like a different perspective on someone where you go, well, it's normally this person, but now it's like this person in a fucked up way, and I'm at voice crack and in a fucked up way, and I like that. But I don't know about, again, it's just the sword. It's just, I don't like the sword being there being like, oh, crap.
You don't like...
Is she always holding the sword? Like, could she only have one hand to do other things?
Probably. Like, the sword's probably going to be a part of her, like, in one way, shape, or form forever. So,
like, I'm looking at the picture. Do you think it's actually, like, a part of her? Like, because it looks like her arm has been replaced by the sword.
I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
Because like, her arm is the sword.
Yes. Correct. Either that, or it could be, okay. Could be like a Soul Eater thing going on, where you still have all that black goop stuff, but she can transform her hand, her corrupted hand, into the sword at will. Like in Soul Eater.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Now, can I fuck the sword?
If you're
brave enough,
if you are brave enough to try that kind of sounding,
No.
Go right ahead.
No. I have no desire for that kind of sounding. I have no desire for that kind of butt play. I have no desire for any of that.
For that kind, you say.
No, very limited.
There you
and
go.
That is not one of them.
There you go.
This is not one of them at all.
Yeah, no. No, thank you.
No, thank you. I feel like it would be more doable if it was just on her body, like she had like a sheath or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, yeah, okay, fine. She has it on her back at all times or whatever.
But again, it's like the sword again can disappear into her arm to just be replaced with the corrupted hand,
Right.
or with a corrupted hand. So the sword doesn't have to be there 100% always, but the corrupted energy / manifestation from the sword will always be there. That is kind of her now.
That's true. Well, I think the best thing about it is her honesty and devotion towards you. Like, she will protect you she's literally your sword.
Mm-hmm.
She will protect you. She will love you.
Yeah.
And that's only if you're married. So I think how do you get to a point where out of fear of seeing this, you just go marry me? Out of fear, do you just go marry me? Don't hurt me.
Maybe?
Or do you just take your lumps and then move on?
I would take my lumps, or even just try and beat her, even though I know for a fact I wouldn't win.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wins. I don't think anyone wins against us.
Yeah, no. Like, maybe a handful of people, like, in the world would probably beat her in a legitimate sword fight.
Yeah, because I definitely could not, and I don't think you could either.
Not even
And
close.
From the looks of it, this one is someone who will just stab the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. But, is that all?
I think that might be it. I mean, because I know you don't like yanderes.
Yeah, no thanks.
And here's the thing. For me personally, the only thing that's keeping this somewhat high for me is once you marry them, they just become a total tsundere.
Mm-hmm.
And they just go, love me, motherfucker. And I'm like, okay. That's the maximum thing for me that I'm liking. But like other than that, everything else is like, nah.
Gotcha. So, what would you
I
give
think we give our final ratings.
All right. I'm giving this... Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
You go.
Okay. I'm going to give this a 3.
A 3? That's so low.
Oh.
That's lower than what you were going to give it
I
before.
know. And I'm honestly
Why'd it go
thinking of...
down?
I'm honestly... It's like... I either want to give this a 3 or a 2. Because literally her entire thing before you marry her is that one deep fried meme of like a character's face with the glowing red eyes and right below it 2000% mad. That is literally just her before you marry her.
Yeah, pretty much.
She is 2000% mad.
But when you do marry her, she's all sweet and bubbly.
Yeah, that...
Should we give like 2 ratings on this? Like 1 before, 1 after?
No, we're not going to do that. We have to go for the whole package here.
Alright, a whole package. I'll give this like a 4.
Okay.
Maybe a 5, 4 or 5. No, like a 4. Like a 4. The sword terrifies me. The fact that she can never take it off, and that's basically her arm.
Mm-hmm.
And you're basically fucking her, but yeah. I don't know. It's something about it, like the whole design of it and the whole thing about it is just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like out of all, here's the thing, right? Out of all the monster girls there are in the world, out of all the things that you could possibly go for, going for this and picking and choosing this is not advantageous. Like, you wouldn't go to a brothel for this. Like,
no.
Oh, I'm gonna go to the cursed sword brothel.
You would meet this thing in a, well, kind of as the habitat said, ancient structures in like a coliseum, like an abandoned coliseum or an old castle.
Question, does she get off on you sharpening her sword?
Yes.
If you sharpen the sword, does she get off?
Yes. That is pretty much mutual masturbation at that point.
And it really is. I'm just over here like putting it on the grindstone, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, that's great.
goodness.
That's fantastic. All right,
Mhm.
I have to give this like a 4. There's so many other things I'd rather go do, and rather marry as well.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not something I want.
Yeah, I think I'm
If
gonna.
you're in the blood play,
Yeah. If you're a super sub who enjoys blood play, well, blood in quotes, then yeah, 100%.
but you have to also be a dom because afterwards you marry her. Well, or you could just ignore her and then become a sub constantly.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, just become a sub. Just if you're a sub who likes blood play and cutting and all that good stuff, this is your girl.
This ain't me, Chief.
This ain't me, Chief. I'm gonna
I'm,
give this like a 4.
I'm gonna say 2 for 2,000% mad.
I feel like someone's gonna call me out, but I also when you talk about the girl with red eyes and whatnot, I thought you were gonna say 1,000-degree knife coming at you.
What
I
happens?
thought you were gonna go for the 1,000-degree knife.
What happens when you put a 1,000-degree knife against an iPhone? Spoiler alert, it explodes.
What happens when you put your waifu's 1,000-degree knife arm to your genitals?
Spoiler alert, it doesn't exist anymore.
It explodes.
Would you have sex with a cursed sword girl?
And why? Please let us know. We're very curious.
What would you give your rating? And please be sure to check out the amazing artist who drew the cursed sword girl for this episode.
I'm thinking about having them ask for them to licking the sword. I think that'd be nice.
Goodness, fair. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, and if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And if you want updates on the show, please follow us on the Twitter.
Thank you so much for listening. Your time is the most valuable thing you give us.
And until then, stay tuned for the next episode.
Bye.